like I'm making an announcement to join some football team. Yeah, I want to play some football. I'm gonna work real hard and move the ball on the line. And I feel like I need to talk about football, like I'm at some kind of drafting press conference. But I do have a couple things to say. First of all, it's Goku Day for those of you who don't know, and that's a real thing. It's Goku Day. I cannot believe it. Secondly, Dragon Ball Super, anyone?
Yeah!
What? So I wake up, I get a text from Derek Robertson, who's a well-known comic book artist. He's a buddy of mine. And I get a text in the morning, the day they announced Dragon Ball Super, and he sends me a link. And then my girlfriend's, I got a link from Derek, and my girlfriend wakes up, she's like, you know, there's a new series. And I went, oh shit. And it wasn't like a negative oh shit or anything like that, because I love playing Goku, but it's like, is this gonna be 16 more years of screaming? And then I went back to sleep. And forgive my attire, they lost my luggage, and I wore these clothes yesterday, and apparently they found my luggage, and it's at the airport, so I'm a little bit ripe. And so what I'd like to do is, the other thing I want to tell you guys about that's exciting is Resurrection of F. Hello. Oh my God. I saw the movie 3 weeks ago with Masako Nozawa sitting right next to her in the Egyptian Theater in LA. And I can tell you honestly, and I'm not a big believer in hype or any of that kind of crap. I try to be really honest. And if I thought the movie sucked, I would tell you. I think it's better than Battle of Gods. I do. I think it's really good. And Battle of Gods was the best work we've ever done. It's the best. I think it's the best bit of Dragon Ball material out there, in my opinion, humble opinion. Just playing Goku all these years. So those are just. It's weird because Dragon Ball is like the gift that keeps on giving. You know, when we finished Z, I was like, we were taking pictures, popping champagne, and you know, we're done. This is like 2005 or 6 or whatever. We finished recording or whatever. And then he's like, oh, we're gonna do a game. Oh, okay, cool. And it's like, oh, now we're gonna do Kai. I'm like, okay, we just popped champagne. We can't do Kai. Oh, there's another movie. Okay, and then we think we're done. The movie. Oh no, there's another movie. Oh, we think we're done. And then it's Dragon Ball Super. It's like Dragon Ball Z. The releases of it is just like a power up on the show. Oh, you thought that was powerful? It's like Cure Term is like, oh, you think you're done? Here's more and more and more, and it just keeps going on and on. So even the picture within the picture of Dragon Ball is just the giant explosions keep getting bigger, and the series just keeps going on, and we call it the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, so that's my intro. My name's Sean Schemmel. I voice Goku and King Kai on Dragon Ball Z, and a bunch of other shows if you watch cartoons. I'm not going to list them. I'm very grateful to be doing that, and very excited to see this massive crowd of people here to listen to me yap for an hour. So you guys are spectacular. Thank you. This is my first time in McAllen, Texas. I grew up in Texas. I was born in Iowa, and I grew up in Texas. I lived in Odessa for 5 years, and I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth for 22 years. And so I went to college in North Texas, and I consider myself kind of half Iowan and mostly Texan. Because I spent my formative years here in Texas. So I'm a big Whataburger fan, if that tells you anything. Yeah. Midnight taquitos, man. Midnight taquitos, potato and egg taquitos. They're the bomb. So what I want to do is here's the thing. We can talk about Dragon Ball Z all day or whatever. We got a mic here. I know we're going to do a Q&A. Just so you don't waste your question, I'm just going to rule out a couple things right now. I've seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I think it's funny. I'm not here to talk about that. Don't ask me about it. The other thing is, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Super. I do not know, and I really honestly don't. If I did, I'd say I know lots of stuff and I can't tell you. I found out when they announced it on the internet, so I'm like, okay, this is news to me. The only thing I know is is the rumors that you've read that it may take place within the same timeline as the Battle of Gods story arc and after the Buu saga, etc., etc. I know that. I have not recorded Resurrection of F. I'm scheduled to record it when I get back next week. We are in recording sessions now for Resurrection F. And that's scheduled for release this summer in July or August, I'm guessing. I don't know the exact date, so you will see a theatrical release this summer. And I think I'm hoping they're going to add more dates. So if you missed Battle of Gods in the theater, you'll be able to catch Resurrection of F, which is awesome on every level. I was so, because you know, you have a great hit and then sometimes the second movie sucks, you know? It can't, but this one took it to a whole new level, so I'm really excited about it. All that being said, so you don't waste your question, I believe we have some moderators here who are going to help with people coming up to the mic, and we can talk about Dragon Ball Z, voice acting. It doesn't have to be Dragon Ball related. You can ask me about, I don't know, music. I want the conversation to be about what you guys want to talk about, you know, so anything you want in general. unless it's too personal, but I might answer you anyway. I don't know. So we can start with the Q&A, and I've been jokingly saying I recorded it. I haven't played it. I only played it once, and I played it on Twitch TV a week or two ago when I was at C2E2, and I think it's quite good a game. I haven't bought it yet because I was waiting for Chris Sabat, the voice of Vegeta, to give me my free copy, which I was joking about, and then on a panel he goes, no, I actually have a free copy for you. I'm like, oh, so next week when I go to Texas, I'll get my free copy, and then I'll play it. So I don't really have a thorough, although what I do think is great about Xenoverse is I love the hilarious, ridiculous characters people are making up. I saw that article in Kotaku, and it was hysterical, some of the names. And I'm not going to repeat some of them here, because some of them aren't very politically correct, yet they are still very funny. So Xenoverse, I think, is probably the best Dragon Ball Z game to date, I think. Although I haven't played it yet, so I'd have to wait till I'm done. I'm going to sit down while I'm doing this, because my legs are killing me. All right, I'm here to stay for a little bit. Let me put this mic here. So yeah, thank you so much for your question. Thank you.
Almost each and almost every other episode that you have to do.
Well, it's really frustrating because it doesn't work. But other than that, I actually like the Kamehameha moments more than the fight reacts. I do all my fight reacts, and well, most people do. I don't know if every actor does, but I do almost the whole slew of fight reacts, like the fast ones in real time. So it's like, I'm doing that really fast. That's irritating to me. Kamehameha is like I said, that and the Spirit Bomb. The only thing that's frustrating about it is I'm playing, I haven't seen the episode. I'm going, Kamehameha, it's gonna work. And especially when they did the Kamehameha instant transmission to Cell's face, which I thought would work for sure, and then it didn't work. I get genuinely angry in the booth, where I'm like, it didn't work, this. It needs to work, because of course that's probably Akira Toriyama's joke, he's like, it didn't work. So yeah, I do enjoy the Kamehamehas, and I try to make them interesting or different and special in each their own way, but
do it! Can you do one?
I will, if you guys remind me at the end of this panel. I like to close the panels with Kamehamehas, kind of sends you on your way. So I'm warning the rest of the convention that it's going to get loud later. And I can't do a ton of them because I do have to record the movie next week, and I have a different voiceover session when I get back, and so that's why I don't do a lot of voices in the line, because I talk to you all day, then I'm screaming all day. What I think is really funny is like everybody goes, do Kamehameha, and so I pictured like a third camera, and you don't know that I voice Goku, and you're just watching it, and it just looks like some actor screaming at every kid who comes up, like, why is that actor yelling at every kid? Like if I give a Kamehameha to everyone, so I'm like, that's gonna be ridiculous, and it's also annoying to my co-actors who have tables next to me, and it kills my voice. So, but it's cathartic, certainly. All right, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The thing, Lucario's one of those voices where he talks like this, and it's very breathy. I don't remember that. Do you remember his signature dialogue move? Because I go in and read the scripts, I don't memorize them, then I go home and I forget about it.
I think it was Aura or Double Team.
What is it?
Aura.
Oh yeah, Aura Sphere. Is that close? I don't know if that's close, because he's kind of like that. I'd have to. And by the way, that's an important note. When you go to a voiceover session, a lot of times, like with Goku and King Kai, I don't need it. But for a character like Lucario, which I voiced on a movie like almost 10 years ago, and then a game, and then another game, the problem is that you don't do the voice for so long. You go at what's called a vocal ref, and so it's very important that you go to a studio. So really consider your career in voiceover. If you're worried about remembering your voices, most studios realize that you need a vocal reference, and so they'll play it for you, and then I can usually get it like that. So if I didn't get that quite right, I apologize. That's not a character I've done a lot of work with, but it is a very memorable character. Well, I just recorded in Kai, because we're wrapping up, we got to finish up the Buu saga, it's the most sad moment that I remember. So there may be sadder moments if you pick my brain, but this particular moment when Goku's about to send Gohan off to fight Buu, and he's basically owning up for being kind of an absentee father, and he's like basically, and he knows he might be sending Gohan to his death, and so he's up there with the Supreme Kai and those guys, and he's like, okay, and they have this moment where they're like, he's saying goodbye, and he's getting choked up a little bit. We just recorded it, and that's a pretty sad moment, because Goku's going through this thing where he's like, not only was I not there for you, I might be sending you to your death. So that was pretty sad moment there. There's probably sadder ones, but that's one that comes to mind.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, what's her name? Cassie. Happy birthday, Cassie. May the 4th be with you. But my birthday's today. No, it's not my birthday. It's Goku Day. It's Goku Day, yeah. That didn't come out right. I'm stealing your thunder.
May the fourth be with you, Cassie.
Right? Okay, happy birthday. I'm screwing this up. I'm totally Gokuing out. Destroy my world!
Get that?
You're welcome. Goku-y. In other words, I get pretty thick in the head. And he's had Brina Palencia, who's a voice actress you may know. She's also on camera. She does all kinds of TV, and she's awesome. And he got my room key before I got there, before I landed, and had her sneak into my room with her husband and plant a kazoo in my pants, along with various and other sundry items while I was gone. And so when I went to go get my pants on the floor and get my keys out of there, I reach in my pants pocket and there's a kazoo in there. So I'm flipping out, going, what? How did kazoo get in my pants? Right? And then I get home, and I'm making the story much shorter. I get home, and this is months later, I open my computer bag and there's a recorder in my bag, and they'd made a recording that said, it had a kazoo playing, and it said, the kazoo is here, the kazoo is everywhere, I'm sorry, in Spanish. But I don't speak Spanish, and so luckily my neighbor's Puerto Rican, and I asked her to translate it, she translated it for me, and I was flipping out, I'm completely flipping out, and the only reason I know that I got pranked was because somebody revealed it on my Twitter feed. So he was just trying to mess with my head by putting various weird items in my hotel room, like hand sanitizer. Someone organized my laundry with, it was weird. I thought it was a ghost or something. It was really weird. But I don't believe in ghosts, so I knew it wasn't. And I couldn't. And since I got the thing that said in Spanish, I thought, who could have been in my room? And so I couldn't figure out. So I left a note to whoever was in my room in Spanish that I translated with Google Translate. But then I forgot to put an email address to where if they did fess up to it, they could email me. So I just left this, why did you put a kazoo in my pants and pantalones in Spanish or whatever, and I typed it on the Google Translate and hand wrote it, took a picture of it, and turns out he was just messing with me the whole time. So that's the short version of the kazoo story.
Lastly, can you just say, the same thing you said to Frieza, the ally to good, remember?
The ally to good, nightmare to you! That's about as much as I can give you there, but sorry. Because my voice is starting to hurt, and I'm saving it for the Kamehameha. Psychic. You are psychic. Here's why. Because you said hi, and I said hi. And then while you were collecting your thoughts, I was actually having a very appreciative moment, and I was thinking about sharing it towards the end of the panel. I was actually thinking, I need to let these people know how awesome this is. And then you asked me. So you're definitely psychic. And I'm going to ask you what the lottery numbers are later. But that is actually, I was genuinely thinking that. And I was sitting here smiling and thinking, it's like, it's like winning the lottery every day, even though I never won the lottery. Remember when you're a kid and it's like, you have like fantasies like, I wish I could fly, or I had a lightsaber, which I still wish I could fly and had a lightsaber, like a real lightsaber, or could turn invisible. And you imagine that when you're a kid and you're like, man, that'd be so cool if I could fly. And you get all excited about being able to fly and you're a little kid. It feels like that. It's that cool. And it's not that I think I'm that cool, it's that cool that there's so many people out there who, are hearing what you do, and not everybody likes what I do, and I don't even like some of my work a good percentage of the time. But the fact that you do, and there's so many people here, I have to not think about it too much, because I will break down in tears on this panel, and it's going to be really embarrassing. So and there's a lot of personal sacrifice I've made to make sure that I continue the role. Because I almost couldn't early on in the series because I moved away, and so I made sure I could continue the role specifically for this reason. And specifically, if I ever had children, they would have a whole legacy of one voice for the whole series, which I thought was over, but now we're doing Dragon Ball Super, hopefully. So there's that. And I do not have children, but my sisters both have children, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to have kids at this point. I'm getting too old. To be around to raise them, but yeah, you guys are my children in a way, and so now I'm start crying. So you guys, so yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. It really is. For sure.
Can you ask everyone to lend them?
Well, I can do that, but I can also do what I do in the booth when I'm frustrated with playing that particular part because it goes on forever. Sorry. Vegeta was texting me. I should shut my ringer. He was. I shut my ringer. Sorry. But anecdotally, what I would do is I'd have my hands up in the booth, And I get real frustrated that he's asking for energy forever. So I'm like, get your damn hands up and give me your energy. I would say outtakes where Goku's just a jerk. Like, give me, little fish, give me your energy, I'm taking it. Like, I would get like really, you know, it was an outtake, but I would just bitch about the fact that I had to take everybody's energy, and I'd stand there forever, and then he's holding his hands up and Frieza's punching him in the gut, and he's still trying to take the energy, and it's not obvious to Frieza there's a giant glowing ball above his head, you know? So I'm like, really, you don't know this, you know?
It's power levels.
Exactly, well, yeah, and then, like the Kamehameha, doesn't work. That it pisses you off as a fan. Imagine if you're the guy doing it, and you're like, all right, it's like building a go-kart or something. Okay, fire it up. It doesn't work, or something. It's like doing something like you know, make something and it explodes and it doesn't work. You spent 2 weeks recording it, and you're like, and it doesn't work. So it makes you very frustrated with Mr. Toriyama.
This is never happening.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, thank you so much for your psychic insight. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I think it's really funny when people take selfies because it always looks like this. Right? So I thought, and to make selfies relevant when you're taking a picture in the mirror, you just act like you're presenting your phone and you happen to be in the picture. So when I take selfies in the mirror, I go like this, like, look at my phone. But I happen to also be there. Because then you got a point. Instead of just being an idiot holding your phone. I'm holding a phone in the mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mind if you shoot, it's fine. But anyway, so we started a trend where you take selfies where you're presenting your phone in the mirror as if you're showing off your phone, but you happen to be wearing an awesome outfit or something. There you go. So, what was your question? Crappy father, period. As a matter of fact, Akira Toriyama is credited as saying in an interview, and I don't know how accurate this is, that Goku's not as nice as everyone thinks he is, that he's just a big jerk and wants to fight the strongest and doesn't care. I don't know that I agree with the creator of the show, because I feel like there's evidence in Z where Goku actually does care about the human race and does care about defending people for that sake. Akira Toriyama's stance is, no, he just wants to fight the best. I'm like, well, you're kind of contradicting yourself, because in Z and in the manga, I think he actually does worry about whether or not Earth gets destroyed and the people of Earth, etc., etc. So Vegeta is probably, maybe they're both crappy dads. I don't know. They're like, because Goku's like, see you later, Chi-Chi. I don't want to spend any time with you. I'm gonna go run off and train Oob. But see ya, I don't care. Hey, I don't want to spend time with you. Sorry. You know, I mean, you're at the end of that series, we're like, wow, Goku just showed up for 30 seconds and left his wife and kids. So, you know, as far as, you know, leaving your son out with a green alien to die, to be trained, that's not exactly, you know, good parenting either. But, you know, you're trying to train the strongest to save the Earth, so I guess that's what Goku has to do. Look at my autograph table. If you guys want to join me there, that's fine. If you want to go see the rest of the show, that's great. And I'm looking forward to for Battle of Resurrection of F to come out this summer, and I hope you guys will go see it. And Dragon Ball Super, and I don't even know what that's gonna. I'm as excited as you are at Dragon Ball Super. And with that, I give you Kamehameha!